Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is August 18th, 2025, and sports, the media outlet in Spain, have revealed a concerning report in regards to Jorge Mendes. Also, Barcelona looking to finalize the departure of Inakie Pena. I'm going to tell you where to. And finally, Barcelona are currently tracking a striker in La Liga. I'm going to tell you who that is. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. We'll begin this video with the news that the media outlet Sports has revealed a concerning report. And that report is regarding to the super Asian Jorge Mendes, who's a very good friend of Joan Laporta, someone who's very close to Barcelona. But the report states that Jorge Mendes has helped Barcelona free up 30 million euros in financial fair play during this summer transfer market. And you might say, Mo, what are you talking about? How is this concerning? It's 30 million euros. Well, let's break it down first, and then we'll talk about why is it concerning. Now, the first operation that Jorge Mendes is credited with is, of course, the departure of Ansu Fati. After all, Jorge Mendes is the agent of Ansu Fati. As you know, Ansu Fati joined Monaco on loan. He needed to join Monaco on loan before June 30th for tax purposes. And not only did Jorge Mendes succeed in negotiating this transfer, but he managed to do it in record time, making sure that Ansu Fati joined Monaco before that June 30th deadline in order to assure that Ansu Fati paid lower taxes on his salary. And in doing so, Jorge Mendes helped Barcelona free up 60% of Ansu Fati's salary, which of course is a big one. So huge help for Barcelona in that way. Another deal that Jorge Mendes helped broker is that of Pau Victor's transfer to Sporting Braga in Portugal, where Pau Victor joined Sporting Braga. And Braga agreed to pay 12 million euros fixed plus 3 million euros in variables. And it's reported that Jorge Mendes was completely responsible for this deal, not only negotiating with FC Braga the transfer of Pau Victor, but also convincing the player to join Sporting Braga, even though Jorge Mendes is not the agent of Pau Victor. So he helped convince the player to leave to Sporting Braga, and he helped Sporting Braga agree to pay those 12 plus 3 million euros to Barcelona. And finally, Jorge Mendes is also credited with the sale of the rights of Francisco Trincao, where Barcelona have sold 50% of the rights of Francisco Trincao to Sporting CP for 11 million euros. And with this, Jorge Mendes has helped free up 30 million euros for Barcelona's financial fair play, which of course goes a long way in helping Barcelona register their players in the summer transfer market. Now you might say, Mo, how is this concerning? Jorge Mendes just helped the club generate 30 million euros. That's a lot of money. What's concerning about this? This sounds like great news to me. Well, here's the thing, and this is why I always say it's not just about reading the news and be like, okay, cool, good to go. It's about thinking about the implications of what does this piece of news actually mean for Barcelona. And two things pop on my mind when I read this report. Number one is, where the fuck is Deco? Deco is supposed to be our sporting director. Why is Jorge Mendes, someone who's not affiliated with the club, someone who has no position with the club, negotiating on behalf of Barcelona, convincing Barcelona players to join other clubs when that's the job of Deco? What is Deco doing? Why is he our sporting director if we have someone else doing his job? But the second more concerning thing is, what is this going to cost us? Because Jorge Mendes, being a super agent that he is, he's not going to work for free. He did not just generate 30 million euros for Barcelona's financial fair play out of the kindness of his heart, because he's a Blaugrana at heart, because he's a culé, because he loves the club. No, my friends. Jorge Mendes operates like any other sporting agent. He does this in exchange of favors, of leverage. So what is this going to cost us? What's the next player that Jorge Mendes is going to come and be like, hey, Barcelona, you need to sign this guy. Oh, but we don't need him. Oh, I don't care. You owe me 3 favors. You owe me the Ansu Fati, Pau Victor, and Trincao favors. So you better sign this guy. I mean, who's to say that Vitor Roque was not signed by Barcelona as a result of a favor? We don't know. After all, this is how these agents work. They help you out for later to come back and say, all right, you owe me. Now it's your turn to help me out. I have this guy who's at a small club, needs to leave, wants to join a big club. You better sign him. Oh, you don't need him? You don't want him? You don't think he's good enough? Too bad. You owe me. So again, what is this going to cost us? And again, where is Deco in all of this? Why is he our sporting director if apparently Jorge Mendes is the one acting on behalf of the club? Anyways, on to the next bit of news, and this one is good news because, ladies and gentlemen, Robert Lewandowski has returned to training, group training, I should say. Now, Lewandowski had discomfort in his bicep femoral of the left leg, which is a fancy way of saying he had some thigh problems in his left leg. This caused him to miss the match against Como in the Joan Gamper Trophy match, and this caused him to miss the first official La Liga match of the season against Mallorca. And even though it's expected that Lewandowski would miss the next two matches in La Liga, it looks like Lewandowski is currently recovering at a faster rate than initially anticipated. He has already started training with the group, even though it has been partially, but it looks like Lewandowski is on his way to be back for this weekend's match against Levante. And of course, that is great news because after all, well, he did score 42 goals for us last season. So, of course, we do need our number 9 back on the field. All right, on to that next bit of news because, ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona are looking to finalize the departure of Inakie Pena during this week. And it's expected that Inakie Pena could be leaving Barcelona by this Wednesday. Now, as you know, Inakie Pena is on his way out. Hansi Flick does not count on him. And the Barcelona goalkeeper has agreed to leave. And I told you this was last week, that Barcelona had a change of plan because they were looking to offload Inakie Pena on a permanent transfer, but instead they are now considering extending his contract from 2026, which is when his contract expires, until 2027, and then sending him out on loan. And while it seems like Barcelona are looking to finalize this by Wednesday, it looks like he could be leaving to Como. Now, as I reported before, Como were interested in Inakie Pena. They made an offer during the Joan Gamper Trophy match. It was not satisfactory for Barcelona. So instead, Barcelona are now looking to extend the contract of Inakie Pena, send him out on loan to Como so he can prove himself in the Serie A, and then next summer offload him on a permanent transfer. And it looks like Barcelona are aiming to finalize this move by this Wednesday. And we'll see whether Barcelona meet this deadline. But of course, this is good news because, again, we need to offload the players that Barcelona don't count on, and we only have a few days left in the summer transfer market. Now, on to the next bit of news because, ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona are currently tracking a striker in La Liga whose name is Etta Eyong. Now, if you don't know who Etta Eyong is, he's a 21-year-old Cameroonian striker who joined Villarreal last summer from Cadiz. He played last season with the B team of Villarreal, where he scored 19 goals in 30 matches. And his good performance earned him first team call-ups, where so far he has scored 2 goals in 5 matches for the first team, and where he's also attracted attention from many of the big European clubs. Now, it's reported that Barcelona have been tracking the progress of Etta Eyong so far. They're going to continue tracking his progress throughout this whole season to see whether Etta Eyong could be a future signing for Barcelona in that striker position. Now, Etta Eyong does have a contract until 2027, so he has 2 more years left on his contract. So Barcelona monitor him this whole season. He ends up impressing. Well, next summer he would only have 1 year left. And who's to say that Barcelona are not able to sign him? And, of course, on the low, since he would only have 1 year left on his contract. Now, we will end today's video with some interesting statistics, and this one comes in regards to Lamine Yamal, because as you know, Lamine Yamal scored a goal and provided an assist in Barcelona's win over Mallorca 0-3. But that was not the most interesting statistic. Instead, the most interesting statistic was that Lamine Yamal had the most ball recoveries, with 7 ball recoveries, as opposed to Pedri, who had 6, and Pedri, who had the most ball recoveries last season with 254 ball recoveries. And while this is notable because, you know, people say, oh, Lamine Yamal is selfish, or, you know, Lamine Yamal is just, you know, trying to be the star. But this statistic tells another story, is that not only is Lamine Yamal an amazing attacker who can score goals and provide assists and change the outcome of the match, but, well, he's a player that is fully committed to the team, tracking back, defending, helping Barcelona with the high press, and helping Barcelona recover balls. as opposed to, well, I don't know, Mbappe, Vinicius, who, if they lose the ball, they don't even bother of jogging. Well, I'll leave it up to you for your own interpretation. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. I did upload another video before this one. I also did the podcast earlier today. So today you have 3 videos to watch. Make sure you watch them all to stay up to date on all Barcelona news. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. And as always, Visca Barça.